A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a pivotal moment for Brazilian politics, a panel of justices from Brazil's Supreme Court is set to convene on Tuesday to assess whether former President Jair Bolsonaro and several of his close associates will be tried on serious charges, including an alleged attempt to orchestrate a coup. This significant legal proceeding comes in the wake of Bolsonaro's defeat in the 2022 presidential election to current President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Prosecutor General Paulo Gonet has formally charged Bolsonaro with plotting a coup, an accusation that has sent shockwaves through the nation. Reports suggest that part of this alleged coup plan included extreme measures such as poisoning President Lula and even plotting the assassination of Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes, a known adversary of Bolsonaro. The Supreme Court, which includes Justice de Moraes himself, will meet in Brasilia at 9:30 a.m. local time to deliberate on these serious allegations. If a majority of the justices vote in favor of proceeding with the charges, Bolsonaro and his co-defendants will be formally charged in a criminal case. The accusations against Bolsonaro are extensive, encompassing participation in an armed criminal organization, attempting to violently abolish democratic governance, committing acts of violence that threaten state assets, and damaging listed heritage sites. Throughout this ordeal, Bolsonaro has consistently denied any wrongdoing, framing the charges as politically motivated persecution against him. Under Brazilian law, a conviction for attempting a coup could lead to a prison sentence of up to 12 years, but given the cumulative nature of the charges, he could potentially face decades behind bars. Legal experts are closely monitoring the situation, with many indicating that the evidence presented by Gonet is compelling enough to warrant a trial. Tiago Bottino, a law professor at the Getulio Vargas Foundation, expressed confidence in the likelihood of a criminal trial, stating, "There is no shadow of a doubt that there are very clear elements that crimes were committed." In February, Gonet filed charges against a total of 34 individuals, and the Supreme Court will also evaluate whether to accept charges against 8 others during this session. Among those facing scrutiny alongside Bolsonaro are former defense ministers Walter Braga Neto and Paulo Sergio Nogueira, as well as former Justice Minister Anderson Torres. As the legal proceedings unfold, Bolsonaro has been actively seeking to bolster his political support. Recently, he organized a rally on Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, which attracted approximately 18,000 attendees, according to local media reports. However, this turnout fell short of the 1 million supporters his allies had hoped to mobilize, prompting analysts to speculate that his influence may be waning. In a bid to galvanize his base, Bolsonaro has called for another demonstration on April 6th, set to take place on Avenida Paulista, one of São Paulo's busiest thoroughfares. The focus of these protests will be to advocate for amnesty for individuals jailed for their involvement in the January 8, 2023 riots, where Bolsonaro's fervent supporters stormed and vandalized key government buildings just days after Lula's inauguration. The charges against Bolsonaro and his associates highlight a tumultuous chapter in Brazil's recent history, marked by political strife and challenges to democratic institutions. Bolsonaro, a former military officer with a controversial past, has been known for his admiration of Brazil's military dictatorship that lasted from 1964 to 1985. His presidency was characterized by open defiance of the judicial system, leading to his ban from running for office until 2030 due to allegations of abusing his power while in office and casting unfounded doubts on the integrity of Brazil's electronic voting system. As the Supreme Court prepares to make its decision, the eyes of the nation and the world will be watching closely, as the outcome could have profound implications for Brazil's political landscape and the future of its democracy. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.